Hello students, my name is Campbell and my assigned material is Chapter 6, Section 7 through 11. As you are all aware, we are studying Conway's Principles of Ancient and Modern Philosophy. I chose transmutation as the theme for my presentation as transmutation plays a large role in the message that Conway is providing to us through this portion of the text. She explains to us in this chapter that justice is brought out in the transmutation from human beings and creatures from ascent to descent by God, our Creator. I found that this transmutation can be described in many ways. It is intriguing, strange, glorifying, justifying, punishing, indefinite, and rewarding. While every creature is explained to have a body and a spirit, this gives the ability to think, give, desire, grieve, be joyful, and various other things that we as creatures might regret or enjoy. The nature of the creature is explained to become more spiritual, which will bring us closer to God, who is considered the highest spirit. Christ is considered in the middle, and creatures are considered the lowest of the spirits. With these abilities, the limit is put on the amount of evil that can be present. There are certainly numerous points that were given in this section, so I have chosen a few to summarize what I believe was the intent of our author through her text. One thing that Conway presented to us in Chapter 6 is the ability of man to become one when joined with something else. This to me relates to marriage as the two becoming one. One example given was the possibility of mixture of the male and female being the spirit and the body combined. This was explained as Conway accepted the Galenic theory of reproduction, later replaced by Aristotelian view, which implies that males provide the spiritual and mental aspects to the fetus and the female provides the physical and material aspects. The composition of creatures that Conway explains that the body and or spirit cannot be so dark that it does not have the ability to become lighter. This gives the ability to always improve our relationship with our Creator. Justice can be endowed to those who deserve rewards for becoming a better person, while the same can be true for punishment, as others chose to become worse. While every creature has a body and soul, God decides the punishment for sinning. It is not actually the same for each creature. Punishment is commonly known as hellfire with no end, but does not have to be the answer for each creature. God can be widely known through our lives, and we can become charitable and loving through the Spirit of His Son, Christ. This gives us the ability to acknowledge God as merciful and loving and understand why punishment is not the same for all sinners. As we discuss God's methods of destruction, hellfire and water are explained as two of the commonly known methods. In the original world, He chose water with the inclusion of Noah and his family, while fire is stated as the punishment for the world of today. This is compared to one world being a bad world, while the other is worse than the original. This is often referred to in the beginning when Adam and Eve disobeyed and followed the desires of the flesh instead of obeying the Father. This is another example I believe Conway used to explain using different kinds of punishment for different kinds of sins as well. In ending, Conway explains that if a body is a man or a brute, it is a collection of spirit, or a body arranged in a form that is like our government. This comparison stuck out in the text to me was as Conway compared creatures being of spirit and body, being the armies and God being the leader of the armies. The one quotation that I believe summarizes what Conway was trying to tell us is the distinction between spirit and body is only modal and incremental, not essential and substantial. There were several questions that originated in our discussion post regarding this section of the text, and the two that I chose were: Jared referred to the punishments of man for the deterioration of piety as medical, Conway 6, section 10. This idea is often used as an explanation of our world's suffering. He asks if, like water, which can go from a liquid to a solid but still be the same material, does our body change to spirit? Are we still the same? I believe that the body and spirit certainly have some different characteristics, but they are one and the same. Jared discussed that he was interested in the thoughts of memory in Conway's writings. I have never thought about memories being the reflection of our body and spirit. Without a body, the image memory ceases to exist. My memories are not your memories, though they may be similar, but they require my body and spirit to replicate my exact memory. Chapter 5, Section 11. Should there be punishment for men acting in this nature? I do not think that we as humans can determine punishment. I think that this can only be done by God. I hope that this presentation has provided you a more in-depth study of Conway's principles in this section of our text.